Morning, everyone. Jay here at The View on Thursday, the 27th of October with some news. And there's quite a lot of news in terms of, well, chunky bits of detail around a couple of bits and pieces. So we're not going to mess around. Let's just get cracking on with this. Jean-Kevin Augustin. Remember that name and that player? Lucky enough to see one of the games he really barely featured in. Well, Leeds look set to lose their dispute over the player. This all relates to when Leeds got him on loan. They also had a deal with RB Leipzig that at the July 1st end of season deadline, Leeds had an obligation to buy the player. Leeds have argued that because the season overran because of the pandemic, that was extenuating circumstances and therefore nullified Leeds' obligation to buy. Basically, what Leeds are saying is that there was a July 1st deadline to complete the deal for the player, and because the season overran past that July 1st deadline, that the deal is null and void. Augustin only played 48 minutes for Leeds, and Leipzig decided to go to FIFA with this complaint. Leeds lost that complaint with FIFA, but decided to appeal the decision to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. That started in March and was adjourned in September. Leeds have been waiting for a verdict on this, and it looks like CAS have taken a dim view of Leeds' extenuating circumstances. And a legal source that has told Football Insider that Leeds have next to no chance of winning this appeal. Leeds look likely to be on the hook for £18 million plus an additional £300,000 in legal fees to RB Leipzig. We will end up paying that amount of money to a player that Leeds don't own, and have no sell-on value in. So it was said before, and I believe Phil Hay asked Radrizzani and Orta about this before on Kinnear, and basically what they said was that money that they were on the hook for had been put aside and not part of transfer kitties, or it's already there on the side and ready to be paid out if they lost it. But it looks like Leeds are looking like they're going to lose out on this. And it does seem like Leeds have gone into this trying to split hairs on it. And, not going to happen. Looks like Leeds have done the hook for the 18 million. So, interesting one. Augustin has just recently refound his scoring form, which is good for him, but not great for us. Moving on to transfer targets and some news coming out this morning. Two different sources on this, which is always good to see. James Marshman, along with Dom Mitchell, who is the Red Bull insider, has said that Leeds are reportedly prepping a bid for Salzburg forward Noah Okafor. Okafor has been in fantastic form this season, especially in the Champions League. He's got 7 goals in 12 appearances this season, and Leeds have said to be very, very keen on the Swiss player. And it's also that Leeds are in the process of putting the bid together to get this deal done as quick as possible. However, Leeds will have competition for the player, and you'll never guess who it is. AC Milan are looking at Okafor as well. So Leeds will have some competition there. Champions League football could come down to this, or even European football all up could come down to this. And that's the one that we're looking at. In other transfer news, Mykhailo Mudryk, who scored an absolute banger against Celtic in the Champions League during the week. Leeds were reportedly at the game and keeping an eye on the player. It said that Leeds were in attendance along with some other scouts as well. The player has scored 3 goals in 5 Champions League games and has 5 assists so far this season as well. Arsenal are also keeping a keen eye on the player. Outside of that, there's not really a huge amount of big stories, all little small stuff. Jack Clark was talking this week about his time at Leeds and his move to Tottenham. Said he doesn't see the move to Tottenham as a failure. He can understand how it can be viewed as a failure, but that he got to play and train under a great manager and great players and has developed his game and is now reaping the rewards of it. Sunderland. Jack Clark, only 21 still, and having a fantastic season. So fingers crossed for Jack that keeps going, and the best of luck to him. Outside of that, there's a press conference today with Jesse Marsh. We'll see how that goes. A man who's under serious pressure. I want to have a lot of questions to ask around his team shape and his substitutions and his tactics going into the game. We will be streaming tonight on the American and Leeds podcast about 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish UK time. I will put an update on the community tab once I get the details from Alex. But if you want to see the podcast tonight, if you want to know our thoughts on the press conference and coming into the weekend for the Liverpool game, that will be available tonight live on the American Leeds podcast YouTube channel. You can go check it out. I usually link it in the community tab, and we'll share on Twitter anyway if you want to see it. So about 9:30, 10 o'clock UK time. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Only 4.5 minutes. Got through that pretty quick. Didn't think I would. That's good. Yeah, that's where we are. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you back here in the morning, and I'll see you tonight if you're coming to the podcast. I'll talk to you then. Bye.